Hello, hello, everybody. How are you doing today? Hello, hello, everybody. How are you doing today? Okay, so we have some echo. Hang on a second. Okay, so we have some echo. Hang on a second. Okay, so I'm going to leave Instagram. I'm going to say on LinkedIn and on YouTube, okay? Sorry about that. I'm going to leave Instagram. I'm going to say on LinkedIn and YouTube, okay? All right, then. Okay, I'm sorry about that. So I'm connected on LinkedIn and on YouTube. Welcome everybody to this live session on how do you envision yourself and how do you envision your career. My name is Jessica Rojas Liscano. I'm a career coach, a career reinvention actually, and I accompany individuals, professionals who would like to change their career or redirect their careers, and they are looking for different opportunities in a different country or in your own country, and you really want to make the best out of the opportunities that are in the market. So I'm really happy to be giving these sort of talks or live sessions, and actually this is a pre-training session for the workshop that I will be giving next week, the career reinvention, or how to reinvent your career in 3 days. So if you haven't signed up for the workshop, I think it is time to do so. It is great times. We're in great times in our life, in the world, in the economy. Things are changing. Many things are changing, and we're actually having started to see how the market will change. But I would like to see this as an opportunity. It's an opportunity to reinvent what you're doing, to reinvent the way you work. And definitely is a great opportunity to reposition yourself. Now, what happens when we think about repositioning ourselves is that we have to start with the vision. We have to start with the goal. And that is exactly the objective of this session, or these two pre-training sessions. What is the idea? Whenever I do coaching, and I'm not the only one doing coaching, we coaches, we work based on an objective. Whenever we have a client, we always ask the client, what's your objective? What would you like to accomplish? How do you see yourself? What is it that you would like to achieve at the end of this coaching session? And that is the thing. Not all clients are clear about what they would like to achieve, or what they would like to accomplish at some point, long term or short term. And that's the thing. How do you envision a future? How do you achieve a goal if you don't have that first vision? Okay, it's like if I ask you, get in a car and start driving, go wherever you like. What would be that place? What is that place where you would like to go? What is that? Where are you heading? So if you just simply get in the car, start driving, you can go anywhere, but you can have no direction whatsoever. So that's the thing. It works exactly the same thing in your career. If you don't have that first vision, if you don't know exactly where you're heading, how do you build a CV? How do you go to an interview and present yourself correctly? How do you add value? And especially, how do you build, and how you redesign, and how do you rebuild your career? That's the thing, and that is the key. And that's why I propose these sort of subjects. Plus, it is a pre-training of the workshop that we're going to have next week, where we'll be focused on building the right mindset, investigating the markets, and looking at the typical mistakes that people make when they are trying to reinvent their careers. And this is exactly the beginning. You have to first think about, what would you like to accomplish? How do you envision your future? It all starts here in your mind. If you can conceive it, you can create it. And this is not just me telling you. This is a practice that has been proven for many years. Great athletes and astronauts and the biggest and most important inventors in the world have used visualization techniques, affirmations, and the idea is to create that vision of something that will be accomplished and manifested later. In order to create something, it has to start with our minds. And that is exactly what I propose you to do in this session. And for those of you who are already registered for the workshop, you received a workbook that is called How Will You Envision Your Future? And there are certain questions there that I would like you to think about. You don't have to have a perfect answer right now, but what is the most important thing is to start reflecting, is to start creating this idea of what will your ideal job be like? What is that situation? What are the conditions? Where is this place? Where is this ideal job that you want to get? And then eventually you can start thinking of things like, how would my ideal day unfolds? What do I do? When do I wake up? What is the first thing that I do in the morning? Who are my colleagues? Where do I go? And how do I spend my day? Those are excellent questions that we never ask ourselves, and so we don't imagine, we don't create. So we have to really dare to create in our mind first in order to build that in the future, right? So there is another thing that I like to ask my clients, and it allows to make a more vivid projection of this vision is, how do you feel? How do you feel when you have that job? How do you feel when you have that business that you want to create? How do you feel when you finally launch yourself as an independent, as a freelancer, for example? How do you feel when you created your own brand? How do you feel when you finally get that job in that company that you wanted so much? How do you feel? How does that feel? That is a very important question that sometimes we don't ask ourselves. And when we are in automatic mode, I would say, it's like we're just simply going ahead, and if you have a job that you don't like, but well, I have to work, I just have to pay my bills and everything, or you are unemployed and you want to get a job, it's just, I need to have a job whatever it is because I need to pay my bills, or I want to create a business, but yeah, you know what, I don't think I have what it takes. All those things are limiting beliefs, and if we allow the limiting beliefs to come into play and to take all the space, we don't let the vision grow. So we have to do it the other way around. If you start with the vision, and especially you train your mind so that whenever you have a vision, you say, how can I make this happen? How, yes, this is done. How can I get this done? How can I make this manifested in my life? The idea is to train your mind so that whenever you have a vision, don't just simply put it aside and do the opposite. You have a vision, so ask yourself, how can I make it happen? But if you don't have that vision to begin with, so how are you ever going to make something deliberately happen? Otherwise, we're just simply being reactive to the opportunities and to the market, which is not a bad thing, but it's not the optimal thing to do, especially in a time like this where things are changing. Something that I tell my clients and my students today is, never be reactive, or at least really try not to be reactive. Because the thing is that, again, as I was saying before, the world is changing, the markets are changing. And the best thing you can do is to start anticipating how your job position is going to change, how my career in general, everything that I wanted to do with my career, how is that going to change? How is going to remain? How is that going to stay? Things change. Things change a lot, are changing a lot. And if you remain reactive, other people are going to make the decision for you. And that decision cannot be pleasant all the time. So in times like these, where things are changing, we have the advantage. We have the advantage of investigating the market, understanding how new skills are going to be needed in the future, anticipating and being the one who gets to do these things before the other ones does, because not everybody's paying attention to the changes in the world, but you can. You can be the one who actually anticipates and see and say, you know what, I'm going to study this, I'm going to upgrade my skills, I'm going to upskill or reskill so that my profile is going to be more attractive next year or in a few months. That's the thing, and that's how you build something. But then again, that's something that you're building has to start with a vision, and that is the whole point of today. I'm not going to make this live super long, and for those of you who are watching this on YouTube or LinkedIn, you will have the replay, and I will put this also on Instagram as well. I leave you with this last message. If you can dream it, you can do it. Look what's behind me. It's the same principle. If you can imagine it, if you can dream it, you can conceive it. It starts with an idea in your mind that starts to build, and that idea will come necessarily with an emotion that is going to make you want to move and take action and investigate and create something that is, it goes beyond what you have today. When it comes to reinventing your career, it has to start like this necessarily. Otherwise, you're just simply being reactive, and you're smarter than that. If you're following this account, if you're following this YouTube channel, and if you are registered for the workshop next week, you are smarter than that, and you want to upgrade your game. That is the first thing to do. Start with creating that vision. How do you envision yourself? How do you envision your future? If you haven't registered for the workshop, go ahead and also take advantage of this information. Download the workbook so that you start creating this image or these images in your mind. I'll be happy to see you next week for the 3-day workshop on 7, 8, and 9 of May. Reinvent your career in 3 days. There's a lot of information, many good things and surprises coming to help you boost your career, upgrade, and really take it to the next level. Again, if it is the first time that you see this account or that you hear me speaking, I firmly believe that no matter where you come from, no matter what your story is, you can take the best advantages and opportunities in the market, no matter which market you are. I firmly believe this, and this is what I do. This is my mission in life, to help people achieve these goals, whatever, or achieve the goals they want to achieve, but with having this in principle. No matter where you come from, you can always make the best out of the opportunities in the market. So this is an invitation that I make you today. And I really hope that you take advantage of these opportunities and this information. So I'll be seeing you next week. And if you have any comments or any questions, I'm sorry about the technical problems. If you have any questions, please leave them on your comments right here below in whatever platform you're connected, and I'll be happy to answer those questions. For the time being, I'll send you a big kiss, and I'll be seeing you next week. Thank you.